Good evening, everybody. This is the Roaming Prepper. While we're just kicking off, I'd like to do a sound check. So everybody let me know if you can hear me and see me okay while I get myself sorted out here. And hold on just a second. There we go. Howdy, everybody. There we go. So, hey, unknown challenger, Joe, Loretta. I'm sure we'll have kind of folks are just getting off work, so I'm sure we'll get folks streaming in. So today is the kickoff for the Prepper X Files. Hey, JH, what's going on? The Prepper X Files kind of spawned from a lot of y'all's suggestions about some of the videos I'd posted where we analyze some really, hey, Jennifer, some really bizarre stuff and talk about how it affects your preparedness. And what I thought was that would be a great whole series in our in this channel, and really just to look at weird things, because we always think, okay, inflation or hurricane, but there's some stuff that happens to people that's just absolutely off the wall, and that would be a great way to that would be something really cool to investigate. So for this series, I've actually got several things planned. It's to the point I have to get permission from certain property owners in Texas and Louisiana and Oklahoma to do certain things. So some of it I might actually pre-record on a location. Some I might do live from a location. So we'll see. And of course, that depends on me not getting arrested for trespassing or getting a ticket for driving my truck somewhere I shouldn't. But tonight we were going to kick it off with some really weird stuff, some over-the-top incidences, and I wanted to get some feedback from you guys. So I actually did some digging and found some absolutely weird stuff that happened, some horrifying videos, some of which absolutely are not something that would happen day to day. But if they did, how would you react to them? So this particular set of files comes from a channel called The Nightmare Files. So I get a kick out of these folks. So if you haven't had a chance to check some of these channels as I go through, we can go through that now. Go check them out. But as I go through the videos, we're going to stop because it has sections, and as we go through the different sections, we're going to kind of stop and then look and say, okay, if that happened to you, how would you react to it? No, Isaiah, I won't be marauding because I have the headset on, but there are some videos in here where people are kind of doing that. And that's a great topic. What do you do if you're walking down the street and walk out into a riot? I mean, stuff happens. Think about how quick things kick off all of a sudden. Something goes sideways and people are freaking out. So, hey, Klingon Princess, how are you? And I think I missed a couple of folks. If I missed anyone, my apologies. So with no further ado, I'm going to get this kicked off here by sharing this screen. And let me make sure I share my audio because you guys probably want to hear it. Full disclosure, I have not watched all of this. So some of my reactions are going to be the first time. I kind of skimmed through a few, said, oh, this is cool. But there's some stuff I haven't seen. So, nope. Oh, no. I was just holding on to it. Let me know if you can hear the audio on that video.
In this first video, you can see flares fired in the air in order to identify something. You begin to hear sirens go off, indicating a rocket or mortar attack on a base. Immediately following the sirens, a system named the C-RAM is fired in the air in order to intercept an enemy mortar attack. You'll be able to hear the concern in a soldier's voice as this is happening because the C-realm system was being overwhelmed and the mortar rounds could land anywhere.
That's the same alarm we use offshore. Well, apparently it's interspersed with commercials, so I'll let the stupid commercial go by while we wait for that. Interesting point of conversation, though, gang, is have you considered your night operations if you have to retreat to a bug-out location? Flares. You fire a flare, you get a bunch of visible light in the area, but at the same time, do you give up your position? Obviously, this is a war zone, but hey, Klingon. Obviously, this is a war zone, but you know, in other scenarios, this could very well be, you know, your property, your ranch, your farm. How do you illuminate without giving away your position? And you could point out night vision goggles, but those aren't cheap. So we'll finish this video and let's see what these guys do here.
Here you have a group of soldiers in Afghanistan in 2006. They're receiving enemy mortar rounds. They may seem very calm about the ordeal as they're used to it. You can see the rounds landing within 100 to 200 meters from their location with nowhere to take cover. Listening to the rounds come in, one can only imagine how they really felt.
Where did that hit?
No, it wasn't going. It's almost.
It's over there.
Where?
Right by us, right there.
Damn.
You can learn a lot from this kind of footage in combat.
Damn.
So again, in an emergency, are you acclimated to that kind of sound on a regular basis?
Another one coming in.
Get down. Damn. Right there. Oh, man.
I don't know if we should actually.
You see the rocks coming over here?
Yeah, I did, dude. All right, I think we might as well.
Hey, get down, Luke. Oh, right inside the.
Also, notice how these folks will move behind their vehicle. Notice how they take cover. Again, in a riot, you may have to do something
Yeah,
like
hurry
this.
the hell up. Let's go.
Obviously, without a Humvee, unless you own one.
On the A&A side.
Oh. Hey, okay, hurry up, guys. Get this up. Comes another one.
In this clip, you have soldiers taking cover in a bunker in Baghdad, Iraq. You can hear the siren and the impact of the enemy indirect fire. Imagine how that feels when the siren goes off and not knowing where those rounds will land. How would you feel in this situation? Let me know in the comments.
They're hitting the Humvees. Hey, just stay down, just stay down. Okay, they overshot us. they're really close. See the fucking rock? Get up right here.
Now, something important to notice is, there you don't see the impact, right? You can feel the vibrations. Being around that kind of explosion, you have a shock wave, and like when car bombs go off, you ever notice, there are people who get blown up, and then there's like people blocks away, and they're bleeding out of their face or nose. Hey, Tennessee, what's going on? Part of it is shockwave. So explosions of that caliber, and this could happen, a gas tanker explodes in a street. It sends out a shockwave. It travels about 20,000 feet per second. It's close to RDX dead cord. And a 7 to 8 PSI change in the atmosphere around you will give you a nosebleed. About 11 will bust your eardrums. But yeah, right. You can now, once you get past 11, and Tennessee hit it here, concussion. Then you start seeing things like concussions, shattered eardrums, and anything beyond 15. That shockwave may actually cause internal damage. It's almost like getting hit with a supersonic boom. So something to keep in mind. Notice how their shelter is built. It has that opening, and then it drops down. But if you saw on the floor, it has angles. In the event a projectile, like a grenade specifically, falls in, they can kick it into one of those troughs on either side, and it'll detonate in there. In theory, that's how it would work. Yeah, once you hit 15, beyond 11, you start really doing damage. 15 and up starts doing damage to internal organs. I know 20 PSI differential could actually just collapse your lungs. So, these are things, obviously, this is a war zone again, but think about it. If you're out, there's a riot or some kind of industrial accident, like we saw in Lebanon. Remember when the grain refinery exploded on the coast, on the port, and it just flattened the whole section of the city? Most of the collateral damage wasn't the workers right there. It was people blocks away that were getting hit with a shockwave. And then the shockwave will bring glass down if you're in buildings, bring stuff on your head. So really interesting to see how this video played out. So, and again, for those of you who just kind of arrived, the Prepper X files for today are going to be 13 horrifying videos, courtesy of one of the other channels. But I've only watched part of it, so there's some of this I have not seen. So you might see my face suddenly have a weird expression just because I hadn't seen it yet. So next one's going to be Uninvited Guests. So let me spin that one up, because I think this one's freaking cool, if it's the one I'm thinking of.
Doorbell camera clip shows a man with a gun ringing a doorbell and his friend in the background waiting for the man with the gun to get in.
All right, those of you who are firearms aficionados, that looked like a Tech 9. Am I not correct? So you throw it in the comments if I called it right.
It is pretty obvious that they have bad intentions.
Notice what they're doing here too, guys, right? One comes up to the door, which is stupid because he came up to a ring with a gun in front of him. Like, gee, I wonder what you're going to do. But notice this guy in the back, he's going to start circling around or take a position over here. So let's see what happens here.
What do you think they want, and what do you think would happen if they got in?
See back there?
What you see on the screen now are two owls who were found in an abandoned house by workers who were cleaning the house. Do they seem threatening to you? And how would you react if you found them?
Okay, I got to tell you, the owls are pretty badass. I think they're more freaked out that this human showed up with a light. Those are not small, by the way. Don't go and poke owls. They don't take that shit very well. Just, having seen it, but Okay, I have no idea why the guy's still looking at these owls. All right, so we'll stop sharing the owls for a second because I didn't think the guy was just going to sit there and mess with the poor damn owls. They probably scared the crap out of the owls. Owl trap like Futurama. I'll tell you what, though, owls are so awesome. Don't book this. If I think they're beautiful and they serve a purpose, but I'm pretty sure if I saw one, like I opened a door and there was an owl right there, that would freak me the hell out because it shouldn't be in my face. But important point for all of us preppers: we prepare, we stock, we have our home wherever we're going. Keep in mind, we have a shelter. Other animals, especially if we ever freeze like we did or some bad weather. During Hurricane Harvey, I had squirrels hanging out on my roof. I had critters trying to get in my attic. So keep in mind, you may open your shed to get preps out, and there's an owl hanging out in there. On a recent trip to the hunting lease with the company, one of the blinds had the window panel had blown off, and owls had gone in there through a little crevice, and they made a nest. And the guys didn't know, so they opened the door, and the owls just swelled up, right? They kind of got big. And the guy wasn't expecting an owl, right? So he did what any rational person would do. He ran away and tried to compute why the owls were there. So they actually used smoke and just smoked them out, and all the owls came out. But they had destroyed the entire interior, all the seats. They pulled the stuffing out and made nests, and then they shit everywhere. So important thing to note about prepping is if you make a safe place for yourself, nature may need to borrow some of your space, and you might have owls in there. So they swelled up is what he said. They swelled up. It was the funniest thing. He said they just made their wings big and they poofed out, and they went from that to about that. And my friend said, "No, fuck that," and he ran away. And he waited, and then they got the smoke contraption and they smoked into the. I mean, that would have been funny that you don't flashbang a owl, but they smoked them out, and the owls immediately dispersed. And it took a power washer and about 4 hours to clean that mess. It was pretty nasty. So keep in mind, nature may borrow some of your space, and if they find your preps and they're not sealed, they might eat your rice or your food or tear up your shit just because they can. Possibly. Yeah, but the difference is chickens peck, and owls have these massive talons that would tear the crap out of you. What is this? Found 2 baby barrel owls that Mama had thrown. Yeah, they're massive. And hey, Lucky, sorry, I got enthralled by the whole conversation. Yeah, owls have absolutely big talons, and they will tear you up. So yeah, and nature will tear shit up. It's just, well, it really isn't tearing it up in the owl's mind. She or he was repurposing your stuff to make a nest. So in his mind, it was like, hey, this is great stuff. But so this one, this next clip, I'm really not sure. I didn't watch all of it, so I have no idea. Hey, Blue Sky, can you eat owl? Damn, you can eat most things, man, but that doesn't mean it makes it happy. It's like the damn mango frosted flakes. Lucky and a few other people thought that was awesome. I thought it was terrible. Oof. You know what? Now I'm going to have to buy a damn box of this stuff just to try it. Anyway, I digress. That's not prepared. Well, it is prepping. It's just not cool prepping. So let's see. Let's go to the next one. Is, hold on, system audio again. And all right, creepy sounds from around the world.
This video was recorded near Ontario, Canada, in October of 2019. A man with his wife and grandson began to hear odd noises, so he started recording. Could this be a wolf? bear, or something else. This is what he caught. Recorded December of 2017 in British Columbia. Some would say this could be Bigfoot or even alien. What do you think?
I didn't hear a damn thing. I don't know what that scary noise was, so that was kind of sad, actually. That was a stupid video. Okay, let's see what these guys. I heard that. Hey, John, welcome aboard. So what do you think that was? Because these guys obviously work in the forest a lot, and they just stopped working, and they're all looking around like, what the hell is that? So I'd like to say T-Rex, but I don't think that's very viable. Any thoughts about what that might be? That's a good point, guys. Look, imagine what lion would taste like. Yeah. So interesting. And another point for preppers, if you're traveling, being able to distinguish sounds and recognize where they're coming from and what causes them can save your life. The other night I heard a truck at 2 a.m, like a garbage truck. You felt the rumble, and I got up. I'm like, why the hell's the trash guy at 2, 3 a.m? Earthquake. Little one, but yeah. So it took me a second to compute it because I was dead asleep. So being able to, yeah, I can't even guess what. Monique says it was a Sasquatch. Yeah, that's just weird. But again, these weird videos, right? A lot of people watch them and go, "Ooh, that's scary." There are things in those woods and not too far from me. Oh yeah, Lucky. There are earthquakes in Texas, little ones, and I think drilling is maybe inducing them because they poke at the faults and they make these baby earthquakes. So they're happening in Oklahoma too. So, but yeah, go figure. As if we didn't have enough things to worry about. We have baby earthquakes now. But interesting, so guys, when you get a chance, walk around your area. If you have a bug out location, walk around there and try to get familiar with what the sounds are. The other night, another thing woke me up, and it sounded like a jet airplane flying low. Turned out to be a flare from a well that was actually 2.5 miles away. That's how loud it was. And I could hear it in the bedroom with a very well-insulated house. So get to know those sounds, the ambient sounds. Like one day, if you take your walk or your run, just don't put in your headsets and just listen. And Joe in Tennessee are still debating the benefits of eating predators and owls and stuff. I would not eat an owl. They're stinky. Anyway, interesting stuff, guys. Okay, now this one I think is going to be everyone's favorite section. And I can already hear Joe's going to line up a good one-liner with this one. But this is true. Of all the things we've seen, even the warfare and the owls and the weird T-Rex sound in the forest. People can do some horrendous shit. These are the zombies. So, yeah, no. I'm sure it was a cougar. Joe's thinking, so we got to give Joe a minute. So okay, so what I'm going to do is could be a bear, but in either case, a cougar, bear, it's something you probably don't want to walk into. At least not intentionally. That would be a bad thing. So let's check out people are real monsters.
This footage was caught in Moscow, Russia, when a child walking home noticed a man following her from school. The young girl entered the building and hid by the mailboxes instead of getting on the elevators. As you see, she leaves the building and met with her dad, who was close by, as the man following her was confused. The man leaves and sees the girl again, but with her father. The police were called and the man was detained. It is reported that he's a registered mental patient. The police could not launch a criminal case, being that no crime was committed.
Did you see what that little girl just did? I got to play that one back. That kid had really good. Surely he saw her. Maybe he thought she was going to go to the. Yeah. And there she goes. Smart kid. How old do you think that little girl is, folks? She doesn't look like she's even a teenager. And she's out. She's gone. And there goes Creepo McCreepin over here. Oh, the predators piss me off. I won't even start right now. Oh, now she's got somebody with her. Is that bad dad or big brother or someone? Hey, Angie.
This footage shows a 15-year-old.
All right. So prepping is not just for us. It's for your kids. It's for your family. I actually, when my kids were old enough to drive, and one of them was driving the car with the other two idiots in tow, right? Because the oldest one wound up driving. I actually put get-home bags in the crappy Mustang they used to drive around. Hey, Heroic, what's going on? And you know, the kids were scouts, all of them, and they were FFA. So it's like, look, here's the bag. Here's what's in it. Don't bring it into the school because the knife and some of the other stuff you get in trouble for, leave it in the trunk. If something goes down in the school, there's an emergency, you grab that bag. If you can't drive away, grab that bag, haul ass to the house. It was a 2-mile run. And I know my two sons, one ran track and one was a football player. They could make it home pretty damn quick over those 2 miles. So don't hesitate to even create little bags for your kids or your grandkids, your nieces and nephews. That little girl that could have ended very differently. And I have a lot of strong feelings about people hurting kids, and I don't have very good opinions of people who do that. So that was a smart girl. She doubled back, confused the guy, and she was gone. And that may well have saved her life, y'all. So that's an important lesson for us in these X-Files today. So let's see what happened here. I'm going to back up a little bit and see what's
Girl
happened
chased
here.
by a group of 8 hooded men.
Okay, there's the end of that one. So
This footage shows a 15-year-old girl chased by a group of 8 hooded men on
shit.
February 12, 2018. She is shown jumping and hiding behind a wall until the group is gone.
Well
But the
done.
thing is, she was later caught by the group and ended up in a hospital. The group was never caught.
Jesus. Wow. Yeah, she did do a switcheroo. And this last girl, she did good. I think where she screwed up, she broke cover and didn't find an alternative cover. She probably tried to run down the street. And in that white jacket she had, she was easy to spot. What she probably could have done, and we're not there, right? Go around that same building and hide in something else, or knock on the door and ask to use a phone. That was a big group of people chasing that one girl, though, huh? Anyway, so let's see the paranormal stuff.
Here you have what is said to be a ghost on 3 different occasions opening a door. Could this be a hoax where someone has a string that we can't see? Or is this actually a ghost? What do you think?
Looks like Slimer. He's just not green, see? Oh, that wasn't Slimer, that was the door. Well, that's not very exciting. All right, well, that's wimpy. Let's find something a little more exciting than that. Although another prep, make sure your doors close properly so you get in a blackout and you don't walk into your pantry door, knock yourself unconscious in the dark, because that would never happen to any of us, right? Murphy's Law. Let's see what other fun we can find here. Yeah, how many, man? Good Lord, how many minutes of stupid pantry door are we going to see? Deadliest stuff on earth. So I'm a professional actor. That's stupid. All right, let's see what we've got here now. Anyone from Ohio? They're saying this is a grass man.
Grassman. The Grassman sightings have been traced back to northeastern Ohio. He is said to be around 6'4" and 500 pounds, and has a very bad odor. He is known to be very aggressive and attack dogs. The person recording this catches a black figure moving through the wooded area and claims that it's the Grassman. What do you see?
Has a bad odor.
Some people believe in spirits, and some don't. In this video, a driver catches a spirit crossing a road. Are we being tricked? Or is this really something paranormal? Tell me what you think in the comments section.
I don't know if that's an actual ghost or a camera failure, but I want to know, the guy's talking about this image that may or may not be there. What the hell is with this village that's abandoned? Hey, Ost, is Ostlander in here? There he is. Yeah, actually, it's Tennessee. It'll be the Prepper X Files. I'm going to do this every couple of weeks, and you missed the intro, but I've got calls into some properties that are abandoned, haunted, certain locations I need to get permission to go and film on. So we can do like bizarre stuff and then how it applies to prepping. So that's where all this came from. Look at that though. Like, I don't know if that's a spirit or the camera's malfunctioning, but what's up with this house? Like, where the hell are these towns? That's freaky as shit. I don't know about that. It's the chupacabra. Sunken Ship. So what do you think, guys? Last one of the night, Sunken Ship? Let's see the Sunken Ship. Shit.
Here's the footage of the unlikely rescue of the Nigerian boat cook, Harrison O'Kane, who had been trapped for 60 hours in the air bubble of a sunken ship. The divers went to the boat not expecting to find any survivors. He was the only survivor of the 12-man crew.
All right, just keep him there and keep him calm, okay? All right, just reassure him, pat him on the shoulder. Okay. All right.
Holy shit.
All right. Right, let's get that head on his head. Okay. What's your name? Harrison. Okay, Harrison. My name is Colby.
That's a lucky dude. Brings up another prepping point. What if you're trying to get from A to B over a vessel, not a canoe? Obviously, you could just get back in your canoe. But if you're in a charter boat, a fishing boat, you've paid for transport to get to some safe place, and the thing flips over. I took extensive offshore survival stuff, but that's interesting things to if you guys haven't done any like whitewater rafting or any kind of water survival or rescue, might be worth, if you can find a class near you, might be worth taking those kind of classes. I mean, you never know. Let's see if we have one more here. Is that the last one? Nope, that was it. So guys, that was the 13 horrifying videos that did come from Nightmare Files on YouTube. So I started following them a little while ago, and they just have all sorts of bizarre stuff. Oh no way, you were artillery. No way. So that's cool. That explains the sense of humor. Because like you'll make jokes and I get them and I'm like, yeah, that. But well, happy Veterans Day to you and all the other peeps who've served. But folks, that was the end. And again, Nightmare Files has some really, really surreal shit. But think about it, guys. Could any of those things have happened to us? 13 people chasing you down the street. We watched it happen throughout 2020. As a matter of fact, there are 2 trials going on because of public violence. One where they killed that poor kid. Aubrey, because he was sightseeing in an empty building. The other one is the Rittenhouse kid, which has taken some turns I was not expecting. So that's become very interesting to study. Thank you, Tennessee, and yeah, and oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I did get both my sons home, so I'm super psyched. I'll be seeing them hopefully through the holidays. So that's always a good reunion. I may be incoherent part of the holidays, so if my videos quality goes to shit, it's largely due to alcohol. So just a heads up there. In any case, this is interesting stuff, and those two with the girls, one being chased by the gang and the other one just being chased by a creeper. Prep your kids, y'all. Train your children. Train if you don't have kids at home, talk to the other kids, and if you have kids in your circle, you're mentoring or being like a point of reference or mentor, counselor to any of these kids. Help these kids out. Teach them. I hear stories every week. Actually, last week, somebody's niece or cousin, she got attacked in an HE or a parking lot of like an HEB or Piggly Wiggly, wherever the hell she was. Yeah, children. Yeah, well, Oz, you're right, spot on, man. And thank you, JH, as well. You know, the kids are our future, man. That's why we do what we do, to take care of the ones we love, both working and prepping. So, make sure that we teach them how to survive and how to deal with these kind of encounters. That little girl's the one with the hoodie where the single guy was following her, that could have ended so badly. And you know what? Heroic, even though they're little, like they can't punch a grown man, it gives them the presence of mind and um, the confidence to react certain ways, right? Uh, most of these types of folks, they don't want to deal with someone who's going to cause a commotion. And I mean, I'm preaching to the choir with all of you. You guys know what I'm talking about. But take the time. If you have a cousin, a niece, a nephew, kids in the circle of your family and friends who, oh yeah, and Heroic, we definitely need to do that, brother. And shoot me an email. I can't find your email for some reason. I meant to email you something last week and I couldn't find it. But yeah, we make sure you train those kids and at least basic things. You have no idea how many times I'll watch even teenagers, much less young adults, something happens and they just lock up and they go straight to the ground and they don't even hide. They just deflate. Yeah, and that's the reason you. And I read that backwards. I thought you were saying people raise them stupid and complacent. I was like, okay. Again, glasses. Yeah, Joe's absolutely right. Teach them life skills. Teach them how to use pocket knives safely without cutting their fingers off. Basic first aid for your kids. Kids eat this up, guys. I was a Cub Scout leader. I tell you what, I gave these kids bandages and stuff, and they look like damn mummies, but they still remembered it. They're all in their early 20s now. And I'll run into these young men and women from the various church groups and everything. They're like, I remember when we did the bandages and then so-and-so got stuck and we had to cut the bandages off of her. And the kids had a blast, but they remember that. So guys, take care of the people in your circle, or at least educate them. You may not be successful, but try. That little girl, that could have ended so much worse. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it for tonight. This is the first episode of the Prepper X-Files. And as I mentioned earlier, I will continue to find outrageous shit, and we will do videos. Some may be pre-recorded depending on the location. I have a few locations in mind. I don't think I can physically do a live there, not safely, and not hurt myself walking around wherever I am. But we're going to go look at these really outrageous, bizarre situations and then see how would you prep for them? How do they apply to you? So, yeah, no, that's true. Yes, Absolutely. It's and yeah, self-defense, knowledge of self-defense, and that's true. A squirrel would tear the crap out of you. I've seen a squirrel tear someone up once from a distance, and I was just absolutely in awe of this very fat squirrel. He didn't even look like he could run. I guess maybe that's why he decided to fight. He's like, I'm too fat to run away. I'm going to attack you. But yeah, this squirrel kicked the crap out of somebody one day, and it was absolutely hysterical. Not for the person, for me. I thought it was great because I was 10 yards away. But anyway, folks, in any case, y'all be safe. Hope each other out. Have a great weekend. I should have my little videos in the morning like I normally do. Other than that, you all stay safe, and yeah, just keep learning. And those fuel prices, I talked about them earlier. They're getting ugly. So if you need some propane or any top offs, do it now. You guys take care. God bless.